past few weeks have been alarming, as more information has come out about the current pandemic. We've seen all of our lives change in the blink of an eye, from last week to this week. Just a week ago, we were quite concerned, but still going on about as normal. And now, hopefully all of us are on lockdown, staying safe and keeping others safe. Now, the question is a matter of if, but when it overtakes the healthcare system, which is why we must all do our part to flatten the curve. But as the news reports have come in, at times it has felt like a tsunami and almost overwhelming. Eventually it will get better. And until it does, we must all do our part to help support the frontline workers, which includes healthcare workers, police and fire department. Even our grocery store clerks are our frontline defense, as they are providing a crucial service in keeping us provided with food. And bankers, and anyone else who must continue in order to survive this. Now, the CDC has guidelines for suggesting on how to prevent the spread, which includes keeping a social distance of 6 feet. The CDC also has recommendations for managing stress during the situation, which includes taking a break from news and other media reports. At times, that news can overwhelm you mentally and physically, and we must do our part to make sure that we're all managing the stress well so that we can be there for each other. Now, speaking of the body, another way to manage that stress is to get out and get some physical exercise. Now, this doesn't mean running to the gym, but instead doing something in your neighborhood, such as walking around and taking in nature, or even exercising in place. There are some groups who are performing yoga online, and if you've wanted to learn, apparently now's the time. One other thing we can do is making sure that you take time to unwind. Now, that goes hand in hand with taking care of your body. Making time to unwind means that you are finding ways to de-stress from the situation, and it's different from just taking a break from the news. It is consciously doing something for yourself that improves your mental health. And for some, this can be exercise. Make time for breathing exercises and other things. Take a bath if you need to, because I found that taking a bath or a shower can do all sorts of wonder in cleansing the body and spirit. And most importantly, don't forget to connect with others. Now, this may seem difficult given the impositions that are required of us, but it is still possible. For example, last night, my friends and I got together and watched Cats. Now, why Cats, you say? And others may say, why not? About Tuesday or Wednesday, I just tossed it out there after seeing the news report about Seth Rogen watching it and his following Twitter commentary. I thought it would be interesting to do the same, but do it with a group of people. Now, come Wednesday, the totality of all of this started to overwhelm me. I found myself not being able to get out of bed out of depression, and I stayed in bed all day Wednesday. Initially, the Duke and I were going to stay at separate residences until this all passed over, but after realizing that this could be weeks, we decided it would be better to confront this together. The Duke came back. The depression set in on Wednesday as the totality of the experience began to sink in. And I gave myself the deadline that by the next morning, I would get out of bed. That was my only thing on the checklist for the day. Now, granted, I did have to get up and go to work, but if I could get out of bed, I would be checking one thing off of my checklist. And I did. And I continued. I went to work, and I decided to put together a viewing party for me and my friends to watch Cats. And it gave me purpose. Putting together that viewing party got me out of bed, and it helped snap me out of my depression, because I was doing something in the service of others. Felt like making this video. And I found that doing something for others is one of the best ways to combat depression. Now, I say all of that, and we had a wonderful time last night connecting online and watching it in our separate homes, but yet still talking to each other. It was quite wonderful, and it made my week, and it gave me something to look forward to. I encourage the same for Find a sense of purpose. Find a way to serve others, and for many of us that will include caring for children, so you've got your hands full, don't you? But for others, it can be something as simple as volunteering in some way or capacity, or something as simple as just staying home. And remember that you are not doing it for yourself, but literally for everyone you know. Now, we've got many weeks ahead of us, and I hope that we all find ways to manage the stress. We will get through this together, because someday this shall end, and we will find new normals. But until then, we must support each other. I look forward to talking to you next week, and until then, take care, be safe, and be distant, physically.